Actually, it's Christians.
2 Christians to be exact. I'm Christian Taylor.
And I'm Christian Miller.
And this is the podcast for small creators.
All right, Christian, it is episode 3. How are you doing today?
I am okay. I'm not a morning person, and we got the very stupid idea of recording this at 7 a.m., which for me, guys, for all you who are going to rip me and be like, I wake up at 6 a.m. every day. Look, I wake up at 8, so this is low-key, like, I'm really going the extra mile for you guys to fit this into my schedule. So I'm doing well. I'm excited. I'm glad we made it to episode 3. That's a good sign.
Yeah, and well, also it's an hour later for me, so it's 8 a.m. for me, so ha. And we're actually going to be uploading it a little less than a month after episode 2, which I'm pretty proud of. I don't know about you.
Yeah, that's exciting. We're really starting to hustle now because, well, for me it's summer, but for Christian it's dying time.
We are. I'm right in the middle of finals. Woo!
Exactly. So I mean, props to him for even managing to do this. But once summer hits, we got some cool stuff coming.
Yeah. I'm impressed. I'm here too. I am running currently on 2.5 hours of sleep because of history papers. So that's fun. I'm barely here. It's okay. I'm gonna, right after I finish the podcast, I'm going to go and drive to Michigan for my brother's graduation in the middle of exams, because that's the kind of thing you do in May. Everything is fine.
That is actually insane. Wow. Well, man, I don't know how to transition from that, but we do have an exciting topic to discuss today.
Yes, but before we get to that, I have other stuff I want to talk about. Firstly, just to prep our audience, as you know, or if you're a new listener, you might not know, our general format is to talk about a specific topic, and then we each talk about something we learned this month. But what we're going to be doing this episode is, because we got a question, I'm going to do the what we learned this month, and then we're going to answer the email question in a hopefully not failed attempt to keep us under 45 minutes. But I guess
really
we will see if that works. But I want to address something from last episode. A couple things, actually. Firstly, I criticized Joey and Joel from the potential podcast, hopefully not named Kale Chips, about being too far from the mic. And then when I was re-listening to our podcast, I realized that I am too far from the mic a lot during the podcast. Man. So I feel terrible for bringing that up, like being like, you guys are too far away from the mic. Like, oh, that's uncomfortable. And also, I would note that when I checked up on Joey's podcast, it had like 50 some views, and I have no idea if that has anything to do with us necessarily, but I'm saying it might have something to do with us.
It's Christian may have impacted Kale Chips, or hopefully not.
We might have. Who knows? Still haven't got that podcast trailer from you, Joey. We're still waiting, because I hope you make more. So yeah. Anyway, I think that's everything I wanted to try to bring up. Oh wait, no. Oh no.
But wait, there's more.
There is more. So I've been thinking, last episode. So, or last episode. Is that maybe that's how we describe it. I don't know. You talked about having an old podcast. Roll the clip.
Welcome to Tech Chatter, your source for all the latest tech rumors and news. Here's your host, Christian Taylor.
Hey guys, what's up? Christian Taylor here, and welcome to Tech Chatter, your source for all the latest tech rumors and news.
Did you go and track this down, Christian?
No, I didn't.
Also, you haven't even heard it.
Because no, here's what I want is for you to send it to me so I don't have to track it down, and then I want us to review it on the pod and give past Christian advice on how to make a better podcast.
That is the most creative thing I've ever heard.
I think this is a great idea, and I really want to see how bad your podcast before your podcast with me was. So
got it. So pretty much you're trying to validate yourself and say that like you being here
that is exactly
the reason our podcast is magical. No, I get it. It's okay. It's fine.
Oh gosh. So yeah, that is something that I think we should do because it would be quite funny and we could cringe together.
It's going to be hilarious.
Yeah. So maybe we'll do that next episode.
That sounds awesome. Okay. So, did you get everything out first of all?
I think I'm ready for us to get into the main topic. I just felt like we get so into the main topic so fast, and I think it's a good idea, but also like we get into the main topic so fast, you know?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I just legitimately don't know how to make the intro longer, so this was good that you took control of that because I'm like, hey, every episode is me like, I'm tired, guys, but it's okay because I'm still recording this. Okay, first topic.
Yeah, well, 3:30 a.m. Christian is to thank, I guess, as I was like, I need notes for this thing in 2.5 hours instead of sleeping.
Man, way to hustle. I'm like, I'd be like, nope, I'm falling asleep and I'm going to wing this thing.
Well, I also did use writing notes to procrastinate on working on my paper, which I did eventually do at 4 in the morning.
Oh, man, so there's more.
Yeah,
dang. Have you been up all night?
I went to bed at 4:40. I fell asleep around 4:40 because I know oh gosh, I fell asleep around 4:40 I think, and then I woke up at 7:10 and packed a bag and put it in my car, drove down across campus to this part of campus to record, and then as soon as we finish recording, pretty much I'm gone. I'm on set for a 4-hour drive. So
wow, woo! Impressive.
I'm living the life.
Yeah, wow. Well, so today we are talking about the Brave browser. So for those of you who don't know, I'll just briefly explain what it is. So this is a browser made by the co-founder of Firefox and the creator of JavaScript. So I say that to say it's a reputable guy behind it. It's not just some random person. So there's a lot of features to this browser. It's got a built-in ad blocker, and it will block trackers as well. So in addition to blocking ads, it's making sure sites are not like cross-referencing you and all the creepy things that happen in a regular browser to give you more ads and more relevant ads. So blocks ads, but there's also something in it called Brave Payments. Now, the concept of Brave Payments is you set a budget every month using cryptocurrency. We'll talk a little more about that in a minute, but you set yourself a budget. So you could say, I want to spend $5 a month in cryptocurrency. And essentially, the amount of time you spend on a website is the amount of time or the amount of money that goes towards that site. So for example, let's say your budget is $4 and you spend 75% of your time on Christian Miller's YouTube channel because you just love his content and you can't get enough of it and you're just addicted. So three
I think that's a great idea, and you should all go to youtube.com/sibling cinema right now. Actually, not right now. Finish the podcast and then go there.
Yeah, just go give him all your money. But anyway, so $3 in that scenario at the end of the month would go to Christian, and you have total control. So if there's someone you really don't like, but you have a guilty pleasure of being on their website and you're just twisted, and even though you're on their website, you just don't want to give your money to them, you can simply go into the panel, turn their website off, and they will not receive a dime no matter how long you're on that website. So that is the basic premise of this. Now, I have my opinions and more stuff I want to say, but first I want to get your opinion, Christian. What do you think about this whole concept?
Right. So this is not the first I've heard of this because Philip DeFranco likes the browser and has promoted it a couple of times. And in fact, I do believe you got the inspiration for your Chrome versus Brave from a message I sent you like, hey, have you heard about this browser thing, this Brave browser thing? I think it's a great idea because I think a lot of people, I do not actually, but a lot of people use ad block anyway. And so it seems convenient that it's already got ad block. It blocks your location and other stuff. And then also you can support the creators you like. I would question, so you mentioned that if you are giving $4, right, and you spend 75% of your time on my YouTube channel, again, youtube.com/sibling cinema, I would get $3, but my guess is, or doesn't Brave take a cut? Like, wouldn't I probably be getting actually like $2.85 or $2.70 or something like that?
As of now, I don't think they take a cut. So the interesting thing is that because it's cryptocurrency, they're actually launching their own cryptocurrency, which is called the Basic Attention Token, or BAT. I think the idea is they're not charging a fee right now just because they really want their cryptocurrency to take off and they want people to start using it. But once that starts to get traction, they probably will charge a fee. But I mean, there's like 4 options. You can pay with Bitcoin or their basic attention token, or you can also use like 2 other types of cryptocurrency. I don't think there's a fee yet, though.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, but don't you get like a certain amount of money basically to sponsor creators with, like just for using the website? Like you don't actually have to pay. Like there's like a little bit that you get like automatically, I think, right?
That depends. So they sometimes will give away the basic attention tokens depending, they run different promotions. Like right now, if you refer a friend using your link, you will get some of those basic attention tokens. When I was testing it, I never got offered a promotion other than that. So I'll get into in a minute my opinions on the cryptocurrency part of it. Do you have anything else on this exact thing we're talking about?
YouTube.com. Guys, my last video didn't do well. Okay, I'm really stressed and I need the views.
Like, actually, why don't we watch each other's content? Like, we totally need to be.
Excuse me, Christian. I do watch your content. In fact,
crap.
I watched your video.
Oh no!
Your last video.
Oh no! Guys, this is really bad. This puts me in a horrible position.
It does. Here's the thing. To be fair, I watch the videos of yours that seem interesting to me. So I don't watch every video because I'm not a tech guy, but I did watch the Buy Me a Coffee one. So I was like, well, that seems interesting, and I watched the video. But here's the thing. I don't expect you to watch my review of Thor, a movie from 2011 that I doubt you've seen, and even if you have, I would be surprised if you cared about.
Second option. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I no.
So it's you have to like movies to want to watch my content. So like even if this podcast does well, I don't think it'll do much for my channel. So I'm just here for the love of the pod. So that's all I'm saying.
Cool. Okay. Well,
Cool.
back to guys. I'm terrible at transitioning, and it's the morning. I'm sorry. So, um, we were talking about the Brave payment system. Here's kind of my problem with it. I have several problems. Number one, I said this in my video, by the way. So if you watched my Brave versus Chrome video, there's a slight bit of redundancy. Sorry about that. But starting off, I feel like everything in this browser could be a plugin / extension in every other browser. So I like the concept. I'm not against it. However, the Brave browser itself, at least in my testing, is a little bit just sluggish and kind of buggy. And if they just made a plugin that would let you do that in Chrome or Opera or Firefox, I honestly think it might take off. I'm not quite sure about that in its own standalone browser. Now, my other problem with this is that cryptocurrency. And you guys are probably like, what? You're supposed to be a tech guy. Like, you should be all over this. I will admit, although I am techie, I have never owned any cryptocurrency in my life, ever. So I actually got excited. Now, let me take a step back. There is no way that I'm aware of to purchase those basic attention tokens right now. You can only get them through a promotion. So I literally have no friends. So I have no one I could refer to the browser, except I'll have the link in the video description.
I feel like I should correct you and be like, I'm here, but then I'm like, but are we friends? We're business. We're podding. We're brothers in the pod. I don't. Now I've just made it awkward.
I guess by friends, I mean like somebody who I could. Okay, actually, I lied because now that I think about it, I'm sure my very kind brother would be willing, and I'm sure you would have been willing to do it too if I actually asked.
I think I would have. I just needed that push, and you didn't. You didn't give it to me.
Yeah, the problem here is me. I actually just would rather like drown myself in my own sorrow thinking I have no friends when I really do. So that's what we learned today, guys. I'm screwed up. No, I'm okay. Okay.
This is getting very dark.
Yeah, I'm actually kidding.
Let's pull it back on track.
Yeah, resuming where we were. I did mention that multiple cryptocurrencies are supported, including Bitcoin. So I actually got excited for a minute. I was like, yes, I get to buy Bitcoin. Like, this is a big deal for me because I've never done it. And now I finally have a reason to. So I Google, how do you buy Bitcoin? I don't know. I'm just figuring this thing out. And there's a website called Coinbase. That's a very popular site to purchase it at. So I create an account. I try to put in my debit card, and my bank calls me saying there's a fraudulent activity on my card because they're like, hey, this is like some company from the UK. I'm like, yo, I'm just trying to buy Bitcoin. It's all good. And so they are like, yeah, okay, great. So I'm able to link my card. And then after like days of that process and frustration, I'm like, all right, I'm going to buy like $5 of Bitcoin, just something really small so I can try out this payment thing. So I go to buy it. It would not let me buy it. It gave no error message, just the the button was like disabled to buy it. So why am I saying all this? Well, I'm saying this to say, if I am a techie person and I could not get this to work, what are the odds that an average consumer would go through all the trouble to get their hands on cryptocurrency just to only donate it out of the kindness of their heart to support other creators? That's where I have a problem with this.
I think that's fair. And I like what you said, that it should have been a Chrome extension, because I'll be honest, like I've been like that this Brave seems like it's a pretty good browser. Let me look up a little more about it on Chrome and then not get it. But if it had been an extension, I probably would have it. So I kind of agree with you there.
Yeah, and there's a site called Flatter, FLATTR.com. That's a Chrome extension, and it's very similar, only it's closer to what I was saying in that you don't have the frustration of cryptocurrency. You just set your budget, whether you want to spend $3 a month, $5 a month, $10 a month. You decide. And the extension just takes care of it, and you can use, I think Chrome and Firefox support it, which I like. Of course, that they do take a 10% fee. So there's that fee you were talking about that you thought Brave would take. So I suppose that's a downside to that extension, but it's definitely something for you guys to look into. Now, before we move on,
I have a question.
Okay, go for it.
So maybe this is going to reveal how little of your videos I've watched, and maybe I'm a fake fan. But so in all of your like Chrome, because you've had Chrome versus Opera, Chrome versus Firefox, and now Chrome versus Brave, right?
Correct.
Chrome has been like kind of the one that you side with in each of them, right?
Correct.
So you're a shill for Google. I see through you.
Okay. If I learned anything, we've talked about this on a prior episode. I've now defaulted to saying my opinion and then saying who each browser is for.
Right. And Chrome is for you. Because you're a Google shill.
Unless anyone can challenge you. I mean, Chrome is a really good browser, guys. I'm going to keep doing these battles until I find one that is actually better than Chrome to me.
Internet Explorer.
Oh, gosh. No, Netscape. That's where it really is, guys.
Oh, gosh. But anyway, sorry. What did you want to finish with before we move on?
Yeah, so if you are a creator, it's very important, if this concept makes you excited, that you sign up so you can be receiving the payment. And you can do that at publishers.basicattentiontoken.org. We'll have that link in the show description. It's really easy to sign up. You put in an email and password, and if you have a blog or a website, there's a process to link it. If you have a YouTube channel, you can simply sign in with YouTube and it takes care of it for you. But you do want to do that step so that if someone using Brave payments is on your website or your channel, you are able to receive that money. Now, if you didn't sign up and you're like, well, I wonder if anyone has like donated money, what happens to that? What happens is when you reach $100 worth of payout, if you're not signed up, Brave will actually track you down and send you an email and say, hey, you've got like a lot of money sitting here. All you have to do is create an account to claim it. So that is really
awesome.
nice of them.
Yeah, that is nice. Yeah, we'll also have a link to the trailer for Joey's podcast in the description. Oh, wait. No, we won't. Joey, it's been a month. Come on. I need more, not called kale chips. I need more, whatever your podcast is called.
No one is going to want to write into us pretty soon because if we're just going to roast people every episode and be like, last month, so and so wrote in, let's see how they followed up on our feedback.
Well, no. Well, okay. Here's the thing: if they heard what I act like so much got cut from the pod last week, like
It's true. Last month, FYI.
month. Oh gosh, I keep saying week, but it was actually a month instead of a month and a half, so that's good. I'm sorry, Joey. I love you, but I like the podcast. I feel
He
like
wants to see it succeed.
I do.
I do as well.
I want to see all the podcasts succeed. Even though that's not possible because there are so many podcasts. But I think this is actually a good transition into the what I learned this past month, which so normally we try to make this at least like a little serious, but I'm gonna not do that. So what I've learned is two things. Firstly, I really love podcasts sometimes, and I found some new ones that I've been listening to as of late. And also, Infinity War. It's a solid movie, and you should see it. Unless you are other Christian and you don't like Marvel movies. And
Or you just don't like movies in general.
yeah, that makes it that's what makes it hard for us to be friends. I'm a cinema major here in college, and it's like, and I pod with someone who just doesn't like movies.
Yeah, I got a free movie ticket. I still haven't used it. I've had it for like 3 weeks. It expires on June 1st. And honestly, I don't even know if I'm going to use it.
You are actually making me sad here. There are so many
Okay.
good movies.
Here's my commitment. If you tell me a movie, you're like, go watch this, I will go watch it with the free ticket, and I will come back, and next episode, I will be completely educated about that one movie, and you'll be so happy because we can totally nerd out about it. Heck, we could even collaborate on a video, but then after that, that will never happen again with another movie unless I'm like actually really passionate about it.
After that will never happen again. Oh
Because I
god.
will have to work so hard. I'll have like my phone out during the movie and I'll be taking notes on everything that happens.
Okay, don't have your phone out, you horrible person. Take a notepad like a
But I'm a tech guy. That's illegal for me.
right, but if you have that bright screen out, fine. Be in the back of the theater then. I'm going to send you a list of movies that you could see and you should consider.
Okay.
But anyway, so the other thing that I briefly wanted to talk about, because I'm not going to talk about Infinity War, but it is good, and I think it's a good addition to the Marvel Cinematic Universe that I can't believe sorry.
This is what you call a brain fart, kids.
No, it's not. It's more like just towers of frustration because I love movies so much. And you're like, I don't like movies. It's like, no, don't do this to me. But anyway, so as you guys know, my favorite podcast is Dear Hank and John, which, Christian, have you listened to yet?
No, but I watched a SciShow video and I recognized Hank, and I'm so proud of myself because I saw him and I'm like, hey, it's Hank. So this is kind of Dear Hank and John, right?
No, because Hank Green doesn't write SciShow because he's way too busy. So he has a team of writers that makes that channel. I'm glad you recognized him, but I do believe they put his name on the screen.
Let's not talk about that part.
Okay, but anyway, so Dear Hank and John is a podcast I listen to a lot, but there are also two other Vlogbrothers related podcasts that I listen to: The Anthropocene Reviewed and Delete This. And The Anthropocene Reviewed is a monthly scripted 15-minute long podcast where John Green reviews two things in the human-centered planet, if you will. So in the most recent one, he reviewed the Bonneville Salt Flats and Super Mario Kart. So it was pretty cool, and I really like them. They're very well thought out and such. And the other one is Delete This, which is with Hank Green and his lovely wife Catherine. And basically they go through Hank's tweets from that week and talk about them and talk about the week through those tweets. And sometimes I see Hank post something on Twitter and I think he's only posting this for this podcast. So if you don't listen to either of those, you should, Christian.
Yeah, one of these. Okay, I took a big step today by making a commitment to watch a movie, so it's going to take me some time before I commit to also listening to a podcast.
Okay. Just try the Anthropocene Reviewed. There's only 4 episodes, and they're 15 minutes each, so there's hardly any time commitment, and they only come out once a month.
I listen to podcasts a lot more often now when I'm driving, so I'll give that a shot because I've been kind of bored in my standard podcasts I always listen to. So
the last one that's I've been listening to that's really good is recently is Hello Internet with CGP Grey and another educational YouTuber named Brady. I don't know what channel he does, but it's a very entertaining podcast. So yeah.
This has been Content Recommendation with Christian.
Yeah, I kind of hijacked the what we learned this month to just talk about podcasts I liked, and in a way that was interesting, probably only to me, but it's fine. In any case, we're on the 33-minute mark at this point, give or take. Actually, it'll be a little less in the actual pod, but we should probably get on to the question, I think, right?
Yeah, let's go for it. Shall I read it?
I would love for you to.
So this one is from Alex.
Don't even try. Don't even
Alex. Try. And it says, "Hi, Christian and Christian. What? Okay, do you think we're a law firm? I don't know. Okay. Hi, Christian and Christian. Thanks for your podcast so far. You guys are awesome. Oh, thank you. Sucking up to us from day one."
But from day 3, actually, technically
from
speaking.
Month 3. We butchered that so hard. Okay. Wow. But, he says, but I have a few podcasting related questions for you. First of all, I want to start a Christian music review podcast this summer, and I'm wondering how much preparation is appropriate for a podcast. I think a little bit of off-the-cuff stuff is fun, but I've also struggled with under-preparation, and I want to know what you guys think as far as preparedness goes. Second, what audio editing software do you use? Do you have any recommendations that are pretty cheap? Third, you guys have a great intro and outro music, as does the inner tube. I don't know that I'm talented enough to get to that level, but how should I go about trying to get some kind of intro music? Is there a software I can use for that? Sorry for the long email. As you can tell, I'm not super experienced in this stuff. Thanks for any advice you guys have. Okay, well, let's break this down and go question by question.
Can I take the first one because the second 2 are going to be all yours?
Yeah, go for the first one.
So I think that it depends how much preparation you need. So are you doing the podcast alone or with a partner? I get the vibe that you're doing the podcast by yourself. So in that case, I would suggest scripting it pretty much. I think it'll be stronger for it. So I think that if someone is just doing a podcast by themselves, scripting it gives it a certain amount of focus and clarity that you need if you only have one host. If there's another host, I like to just kind of have some notes about what I might want to talk about to kind of keep me on a general roadmap. But yeah, if you're planning on doing one by yourself, I would write it out. I mean, sure, it'll take more time, but I think your product will be better overall.
I totally agree in a sense that when you have two people, you still need to be prepared. However, the two people kind of pull content out of each other. Just that natural discussion helps you to talk about, if you're talking about Christian music and two people are talking about it, you're just having a conversation. Hey, what'd you think of this aspect of the song? What'd you think of this? However, if it's just you, I feel like you almost need to go into having categories and like proper ratings and this song gets a 8 out of 10 or maybe not down to that level, but you definitely need to be organized so you're not like, yeah, so this song was I liked it. It was pretty good. You should listen to it.
Beware of the dreaded
Yeah, I am a victim of that. I was about to say if I don't say it, I just have a lot more awkward pauses. So it's difficult. It is very difficult to rid from your vocabulary. Well, should we discuss the second question?
I don't do any of the. Okay, you've exposed me, Christian. I don't do any of the heavy lifting for this podcast. I have no idea.
Okay, I'm about to expose myself. There's a major plot twist coming here. And I left some silence just to let it sink in. So
I'm intrigued and a little confused.
Second, what editing software do you use? So I use Pro Tools. It is a pricey software. I use my brother's subscription because he has it because he is an audio minor in college. If you're a student, it's a subscription price of about $8 a month. So I don't know if that's too pricey, but you totally don't need to do it there. If you're a Mac user, you could use Logic, which is a $300 one-time purchase. If that's too much for you, you could use GarageBand, which is free on pretty much any Mac. If you use Windows, I'm going to be honest, I'm not super familiar. I know Adobe Audition is a program a lot of people like, but I think that's pricey because it's part of Creative Cloud, which is their monthly subscription. So if you're Windows, Google it. If you're Mac, I would check out GarageBand.
I have a suggestion if you are a fan of or not if you're a fan of, sorry, if you have a non-Mac computer, as I think most smart people do.
Wait a minute, most smart people? What?
Sorry, that was mean and unnecessary, and
I'm just interested in knowing more.
Oh, I just find Macs frustrating, and using them in college has not made it much better. But what I would say is that I don't condone stealing things, but things online can be free that aren't supposed to be free. But I don't condone stealing, and you should not do that. Wink, wink, nod, nod.
That's true. I would definitely not recommend that.
Do not do that at all.
Totally not. In all seriousness, though, be fair to the software creators, please. You'll find something. For Windows, there's also Mixcraft. I don't even know that I should recommend that. I used that for my first podcast, and I wasn't the biggest fan. Audacity, that's another one for Windows. So really, I'm just giving you a whole list of things to research on your own, and maybe write back to us next month and say which one you went with.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I still have to expose myself.
Oh, by the way, the one other thing is if you're doing the podcast by yourself and you record and you write a script out, you probably won't need very much complicated editing, audio editing. So you might just be able to use like whatever free editor you have on your computer, if you have one. So there's that. Sorry, you're going to expose yourself.
Yeah, this is
a weird way to phrase it. but here we are.
So, from this episode forward, I am not the one editing it. I'll just let that sink in for a minute.
Wait a minute. Hold on. As creative partner on this, I felt like I should know these things.
Right. Yeah, I was actually going to tell you.
Just over the pod.
Yeah, so my brother, who's an audio minor in college, came to me and he was like, "Hey, little brother, you're really busy and I can tell. And since we do a lot for each other, how about you trust me with your podcast editing? And I promise I won't suck because I'm actually better at Pro Tools than you and I taught you everything you know. And I'll let you like give me feedback and so you can make sure it's exactly how you want it before we release it." And I'm like, "Hey brother, I'm actually really busy and you're right. So I'd actually love to take you up on that."
I too call my brother all the time.
That was slightly paraphrased.
No,
actually really paraphrased.
I got the idea. Well, I would have a problem with it if this wasn't the person who wrote our intro music, which I really, really like. So I guess I can't be mad.
I mean, hey, I told him like I'm going to listen to it and like if there's something I want you to change, I'm going to tell you because I want to make sure it's exactly how we want it. But in all seriousness, he did teach me literally everything I know. I mean, I'm using his audio interface to record this, so he knows much more than I do.
So in the future, if we reference God, we might not be talking about the deity, but rather your brother who holds the power over what stays in the podcast and what goes, because you won't remember everything we say.
True, an outside person is now censoring our work. Oh no.
What about our First Amendment rights?
It's true.
Okay.
It's really true, guys.
Sorry, let's get back to the question. Part 3.
Yeah, so they're saying we have great intro and outro music. Well, thank you. I don't know that I'm talented enough to get to that level, but how should I go about trying to get some kind of intro music? Is there a software I can use for that?
You should pay Christian's brother.
Yeah, first of all, I am going to do a plug right here. My brother did the intro music. He did all of it, writing it, composing it, recording it. He is available for hire. ZachAllen.com, ZACH Allen.com. You can hit him up on the contact form if you're interested in a quote. However, I understand that you may not want to hire that out. You may want to do it yourself for budget reasons or just so you can have some fun making some music. So if I were you, gosh, this is the problem. I'm going to recommend another Mac program, which would be, again, either Logic or GarageBand. You could mess around with the MIDI tracks that will allow you to really build whatever you want. You know, you can make like a drum beat and synth. You can do a lot with Logic or GarageBand when it comes to MIDI. That's the course I would take if you want to compose it yourself. The other option is to get something that is non-exclusive but still okay for you to use. We did consider that route. What I mean is there's a lot of royalty-free music, some of which you have to buy a license to for $20+, some of which is completely free to use, and you can use it perfectly legally without getting into any kind of trouble. The downside is that it's non-exclusive. So any podcast could use it and someone could literally rip you off if they wanted to. So that's a personal decision on how much time you want to put in, how much money you want to spend, and really what your technical ability is and how much hair you're willing to pull out in the process.
I think that's fair. I think that's a as good an answer as could be given. Is there any way to make the music stuff on a non-Mac? Like, are there any programs that'll work for that?
You know, there are. I know FL Studio is one. I have never used it. I don't even know how much it cost. Again, there is Mixcraft. I'm not the biggest fan of that software, but there is a free trial, and it's also a very budget software. So, although I'm not the biggest fan, I will say that it doesn't hurt to get the free trial and experiment around. Um, Here's another thing: you could go to a site like Fiverr, fiverr.com, and look for someone to do it there. They have services starting at $5, so you may find a pretty budget option there. That would pretty much be my advice to you.
But either way, we hope that we hear about your podcast sometime soon. I'm excited to listen. I actually do quite enjoy music reviews.
Yeah, for sure. I'm interested to see how you take this and you make it sincere and not cheesy. Or I don't know if you're trying to go the comedy route or the serious route. I'd be interested because I could see it going either way. Like there's a really bad stigma about Christian music and the cheesiness of it.
Oh, I'll be
So
honest. You got to understand, I hate Christian music.
I do too, with a passion. So if you can successfully pull out those really cool songs that have depth to it and not just like the CCM garbage they play on radio, I would be really interested in that.
Yeah, and if you're wanting some like someone interesting that you could maybe not rip off, but take some inspiration from, Todd in the Shadows is a music critic who's been making videos for I think like 8-10 years, and he is exceedingly good. So maybe give him a look if you want to see like a good example of someone who's a pretty good music critic. Yeah.
Well, man, we are at the 49-minute mark, so we're doing well. It is time to wrap this thing up.
I think
Try
it
and
is.
stay on our goal. So, if you are still listening, you are awesome. If you're listening on YouTube, drop a comment and be like, "Yo, Christians, I'm still listening and I'm awesome."
Type
And I
that
want to know
exactly. Yo,
word
Christian,
for word.
I'm still listening and I'm awesome. Exactly. I think I know what account is going to do it too. I'm pretty sure.
Would you like to disclose?
No, because then I feel like they might not, but I'm going to send you a message probably right after this, right after we record. And then if I'm right, then I'm going to post about it and be like, I can see the future. And if I'm not, well, it's fine.
Then you're just gonna hide and not accept your what's the word?
Pretty much.
You're not going to take ownership. You're going to be like, we're never going to hear about this again. So that's the thing, guys. If you don't hear about this topic again on Twitter in 1 week, Chris grew up hard and he just doesn't want to admit it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you can follow us on Apple Music, Google Play. We're not on SoundCloud yet, which I think we should be because that's where I listen to all my podcasts.
We actually should. We just have to probably cough up some money because their free plan is really limited. But I'll look into that. I will.
That's
So we might be on SoundCloud if the free plan is not super limiting. Yay. Yes, please do subscribe to us wherever you listen to it. Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, many other places.
Yeah, with our individual channels, as I said repeatedly during this podcast, you can find me at youtube.com/sibling cinema.
You know, I hate to drag this out, but I'm going to drag this out for a minute. The first podcast episode, you did not have a channel URL.
Yeah,
Did
but
something change?
yeah, the YouTube channel, because you know how I went into this whole thing the first time. I went into this whole thing, but because of some stuff, we are now old enough as a channel, even though I've been posting vids, because I kind of changed the channel technically. It doesn't matter. But either way, I have a URL, youtube.com/sibling cinema. Me and my brother make videos there. It's pretty fun. We talk about movies. If you're not Christian Taylor, you probably would like that.
Wow, sick burn. Well, we have made it through this whole podcast without me plugging myself, so now I feel obligated to tell everyone to go to youtube.com/Christian Taylor Tech. Check out my Brave versus Chrome video. You might find it interesting if you're a tech-oriented person. And I think
Hold on. While we're on the topic, you can follow us on Twitter at cinephile_1 and Krayler Tech.
you actually can. Just tweet us, say, hey, yo, Christian, I came from It's Christian. Just like that. And we'll reply
Exactly
like,
that.
yo, person, you rock.
That's exactly if you tweet us whatever it is Christian just said, I will tweet you back that exact thing that I just said, or that Christian also said that I would say or he would say, depending on who's responding. I don't know. This all got out of hand and I'm confused now.
Yeah,
But
it's way too early, guys. 8:02 a.m. for me. This is when I normally wake up. I did this for you guys. Okay, yeah, we
are so put upon.
So
all right, yeah, but either way, we'll see you guys next month, I guess.
Yep. See you guys then.